Let's create this modern sofa. And often you can find these technical drawings on the manufacturer's website, and they are pretty useful for modeling. Right, let's zoom in. Okay, so it looks like this image is a bit inaccurate. The seam is not in the center, but rather offset. But it doesn't matter, we can use these images as a general guideline for our model. Let's print screen this. Open up Photoshop. Create a new file, paste, crop it like this, and make it slightly darker, just so it's easier to see the white lines in 3D Max. Okay, now let's save it. And go to 3D Max. Okay, let's maximize the front viewport and set up a background image we just created from the PDF file. And there we go. Let's start with this side element first. Let's create a box from the top view. Shift plus rotate at 90 degrees. Okay, you might want to turn the angle snap on. Shift plus rotate 90 degrees, make an instance, and move up here. Okay, I'm gonna add the edit poly modifier and move it up here. Right, let's look at the photos. So it's pretty smooth, and there looks like there is a seam along this edge here, and probably one on the back as well. First, let's create the basic shape. I'm going to select these edges and connect them with multiple segments. And pinch them like this. And leave the distance enough for a nice rounded corner here. Connect here as well and decrease the pinch value to make a square section here on the corner. Okay. And from the top view, you can also connect with 3 segments, but pinch them a bit closer to the edge, like this. Then you go to perspective view, and add the turbo smooth modifier. And it looks like the corners are a bit too sharp. Let's move these. Actually, let's just adjust the corners themselves. Right, in the photo they are a bit rounder than in our drawings. Let's move this down, these up, and scale these together like this. Right. So this looks good. Now let's select the front polys. And insert them slightly. Okay. And let's insert one more time, like this. Maybe move out a bit more. I'm gonna scale it like this. And now let's create a seam along this edge here. Select one of the edges, press loop, and extrude it in. Okay, so that's one extrusion. Chamfer it slightly. And see how it looks. And the seam is a bit too big. Let's undo that. Actually, let's move the seam closer to the edge and create a new edge loop. Select this ring, connect, just one segment here, and accept. Let's get rid of this loop, that is a bit too far from the edge. Press loop, convert the selection to vertices, just control click here, go back to edges, remove them. And now when you click on the vertices, you have these vertices selected and you can remove them as well. Right. And now let's extrude this edge loop. Okay. That looks alright. Just the center here. Okay, nice and smooth. And let's create the piping now by adding another edit poly modifier. Select the deepest edge over here, loop it, and create a shape from selection. Now when you select the shape, you can enable it in a viewport and renderer and give it a radial profile. Okay, so that's a nice piping along the edge. Maybe let's move this edge loop here a bit deeper. All right. And for the backside, we can simply add a symmetry modifier. Set it to y-axis. Enable flip. And now we just need to mirror the piping on the y-axis as well. Okay, make sure it's set to an instance. And you have your side cushion ready. Okay. Let's mirror it to the other side. That's the x-axis. Create an instance and move over here. Okay, so the drawing is not too precise. Let's add an FFD 2x2 modifier, make the cushion a bit wider, like this. Alright, so now we need to create the back cushion. I'm going to delete this here, create an instance and move over here. Okay, and we're going to simply copy this side piece here. Looks like the FFD was not needed. And Shift plus rotate to create a copy again. Now go above the symmetry modifier and add edit poly. Move the vertices to the other side. And move this piece of piping. Right, let's create these large cushions now. It's pretty simple without any too noticeable seams. Let's start with the box. Make an instance, move up, and adjust the height. Okay. Let's collapse it to the dual poly. Okay, check the reference again. And add some segments to make the corner sharper. Right, let's try it with Turbo Smooth. In the photo it looks a bit higher. That's alright. Again, it looks a bit too sharp. Just scale the center vertices down slightly, and this will round the corners a bit. Okay, it's better. Don't hide all. From the side view, you can adjust the overall shape slightly by bringing the center out a bit. Alright. Now let's make the seat cushions. Okay. I'm gonna create an instance again. And copy this large box to the top. Set it to copy. Let's start by scaling it smaller. And then by adjusting the size like this. And you can make the shape slightly more curved by moving up the center vertices. It's a bit more rounded. And fit the size to your sofa. Let's look at the sides here. This part should also be more rounded. And it's something like this, I think. Okay. And we can create a seam on the side. Actually, it looks like the seams are on the corners. select these edges, move the selection, and let's extrude it in slightly. Like this. Right. And weld these corner vertices together. And same here. And for the other side I'm just gonna use the symmetry modifier. Make sure you adjust it so the center line stays where it is. Maybe let's chamfer the edges to make a sharper seam here. Okay, so that looks about right. Except for this corner over here. And to fix it, we're gonna cut slightly away from the corner. A new set of edges. Like this, and now the corner should look okay. Maybe even too sharp. Okay, let's weld these. Same here. And here. Okay, looks better. And the back will not be seen, so it doesn't matter if it's a bit wrong here. And hide all. And mirror the cushion to the other side. Let's make an instance. Alright, let's look at the photo again. And I think all that's left are the pillows. So the pillows look pretty square. Let's start with the box. Collapsed editable poly. And use the connect tool to add some more segments. Okay, let's scale the center vertices down a bit, like this. And select the center polys and scale them down as well. And now scale them, first convert them to vertices and scale them out like this. Alright, let's add turbo smooth. We need to select these edge loops over here at the sides. Since in this photo here it looks like there is some piping going on and the corners are a bit sharp. And let's extrude them. Okay. And one more time with a smaller width. And the side now is a bit too square. I'm gonna select this edge ring, connect it, just a single segment, and extrude it out. So increase the height slightly and bring the width up so the vertices slide all the way over here to the next part here. Right, now select all the vertices and weld them with a very small value, like 0.01. Right. Looks a bit better. Okay. Let's select these polys, convert them to vertices, and from the side view scale them out a bit to make the pillow a bit rounder. And let's move the corner vertices back to the center. Okay, so the shape is nice and smooth. Right. Let's unhide all. And we have two pillows on each side. Let's make a copy. Actually an instance. Okay. Let's adjust the overall shape with the FFD modifier. Let's bring the middle down a bit. And let's make this unique. Just right click here and press the make unique button so you can convert it from an instance to a separate object. And let's move the vertices a bit more so the deformation is a bit more drastic. And mirror to the other side. Right, we just need to make some little feet, and the soft model is pretty much ready. The feet are pretty much invisible, so it doesn't matter too much how they look. So I'm just gonna create some simple boxes on the bottom. Okay. Group together. Scale to the correct size, so the width should be 243. Let's measure it. It's 267, pretty close. And it's 243. Right. And there's the soft model.